Lucas Torres was 6 years old when he stopped speaking for 8 months, until the day he stood behind a chapel in San Diego and started having conversations with someone no one else could see. Within 6 weeks, he gave 4 impossible warnings that saved lives, including stopping a stranger from jumping off a bridge at the exact moment he planned to do it. How could a silent child know things that were about to happen to people he'd never met? Lucas Torres held his stuffed elephant tight as his aunt walked him through the front door of St. Catherine's Home for Children. He was 6 years old, with brown hair that fell into his eyes and a face that looked too serious for a little boy. His aunt was crying. She kept saying, "I'm sorry," over and over, but Lucas didn't look at her. He just stared at the floor and squeezed the elephant harder. Sister Catherine met them in the hallway. She was 58 years old with gray hair pulled back and kind eyes that had seen too many children arrive looking lost. Lucas's aunt signed papers with shaking hands. She hugged Lucas one last time and left. Lucas stood alone in the entrance with his small backpack that held everything he owned. 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, the elephant, nothing else. Sister Catherine knelt down so she was at his eye level. "Welcome to your new home, Lucas," she said softly. "We're going to take good care of you." Lucas didn't answer. He didn't say a single word. His parents had died in a car crash 3 months ago. The social worker had told Sister Catherine everything. After the accident, Lucas just stopped talking, completely. The doctors checked his throat and found nothing wrong. His vocal cords worked perfectly fine. A psychologist said it was trauma. His mind had shut down his voice because the pain was too big for words. In the first week, Lucas moved through St. Catherine's like a ghost. He ate breakfast when told to. He sat in the small classroom they had for younger children. He went to bed when the lights went out, but he never spoke, not one single word. The other kids tried to talk to him. Some were nice, some made fun of him. Lucas never reacted to any of it. His face stayed blank, like he wasn't really there at all. Sister Catherine worried about him more than any child she'd cared for in 23 years. Behind the main building of St. Catherine's, there was a small chapel with a red tile roof. Behind the chapel was a courtyard with stone benches and jasmine vines that smelled sweet in the evening. In the corner stood a wooden shrine about 6 feet tall, painted white. Inside the shrine was a statue of the Virgin Mary, carved from wood. She was 4 feet tall, with her hands reaching down like she wanted to hold something. The blue paint on her robe had faded from years of San Diego sun and rain, until it looked soft and old. Sister Catherine loved that quiet corner. She went there to pray when the days felt too hard. It was late March, exactly 3 weeks after Lucas arrived, when Sister Catherine saw him walk out the back door after lunch. She was in her office, looking out the window. Lucas crossed the yard and disappeared behind the chapel. Sister Catherine stood up. Where was he going? 5 minutes passed, then 10. She walked outside and followed his path. When she came around the corner of the chapel, she found Lucas standing in front of the shrine. His small hands touched the wooden frame. His head was tilted back, staring up at the Virgin Mary's face. He stood completely still. Too still for any 6-year-old boy. Sister Catherine moved closer without making noise. That's when she saw his lips moving. No sound came out, but his mouth was definitely forming words. His face had changed too. The blank, empty look was gone. His eyes were focused and present, like he was really seeing something for the first time in months. "Lucas," she said quietly. He turned and looked at her for a long moment. Then he turned back to the statue, touched the wood one more time, and walked past her back toward the building. That night, Sister Catherine told Sister Ann what she'd seen. He was communicating with the statue, she said. "I know how that sounds, but I saw it." Sister Ann shook her head. Children find comfort in religious images, especially children who've lost everything. If it brings him peace, that's good. The next day, Lucas went straight to the courtyard after school, and the day after that, and every single day after. Always for exactly 15 minutes, always standing in the same spot, always with his lips moving in silent conversation. Sister Catherine was in the kitchen cutting vegetables for dinner when Lucas came running through the door. His face looked different, urgent, scared. He grabbed her arm and pulled hard. Lucas what she started to say, but he pulled again, trying to drag her toward the door. His mouth opened and closed like he was trying to force sounds out, but nothing came. Tears filled his eyes from pure frustration. Sister Catherine knelt down to his level. "Lucas, I can't understand," she said gently. "Can you show me?" He nodded fast and pulled her hand. She followed him through the building, out the back door across the yard, and behind the chapel to the courtyard. He dragged her right up to the shrine and pointed at the Virgin Mary statue. Then he pointed at the main building, then back at the statue. His whole body was shaking. "Did something happen here?" Sister Catherine asked. "Did someone hurt you?" Lucas shook his head hard. He pointed at the statue again. Then he grabbed Sister Catherine's hand and put it on his chest right over his heart. He pointed toward the building at the second floor where the boy slept. And then Lucas opened his mouth. A sound came out rough and broken like an engine that hadn't run in months. "Fire," he whispered. Sister Catherine felt her heart stop. "What did you say?" "Fire," Lucas said again, stronger this time. "She showed me. Fire tonight. The wires behind the wall in the boys' room. She showed me pictures in my head." He was speaking. After 8 months of complete silence, this little boy was speaking. Sister Catherine's hands started shaking. "Who showed you, Lucas?" He pointed at the Virgin Mary. "Her. The lady. She talks to me. The wall is going to catch fire tonight when everyone is sleeping. She said I have to tell you right now." Sister Catherine looked at the statue, then back at Lucas. This was impossible. Statues didn't talk. Children didn't predict fires. But something in Lucas's eyes made her believe him completely. "Which wall?" she asked. "Which exact spot?" "The boys' room upstairs. The wall behind Tommy's bed. She showed me. The wires are old and broken, and they're going to get too hot and start burning." Tommy Alvarez was 11 years old. He slept on the second floor in a bed pushed against the north wall. Sister Catherine made a fast decision. "Come with me right now," she said. She grabbed Lucas's hand and walked quickly back to the building. She found Sister Ann in the office. "I need you to call an electrician," she said. "Right now. Emergency." Sister Ann looked up surprised. "What happened? Just call." "Tell them it's urgent. Tell them we need someone here in the next hour." Sister Ann heard something in Sister Catherine's voice that made her pick up the phone without asking more questions. The electrician arrived 45 minutes later. His name was Robert Hayes. He looked tired like he'd already worked a full day. "Sister Catherine, what's the emergency?" he asked. "The boys' room upstairs," she said. "Second floor. North wall behind the third bed from the door. I need you to check the wiring there." Robert frowned. "That's very specific. Did you see smoke? Smell something burning?" "No. Just please check inside the wall." Robert climbed the stairs with his tools. The boys were at dinner, so the room was empty. He pulled Tommy's bed away from the wall and took off the outlet cover. He used a tool that checks electrical current. His face changed. "That's strange," he said. "What?" Sister Catherine asked. "There's power running through here that shouldn't be. This outlet isn't even plugged into anything." He pulled away more of the wall. "Oh hell," he said. "What is it?" "The covering on these wires is completely destroyed, and they're hot, way too hot. There's a short in the circuit, and it's making dangerous heat." He looked at Sister Catherine with wide eyes. "How did you know to check this exact spot?" Sister Catherine couldn't answer. She just asked, "Is it dangerous?" "Sister, if this had gone through tonight, there's a real chance these wires would have started a fire inside the wall. You'd have smoke and flames spreading before anyone woke up." with kids sleeping. He shook his head. You called me just in time. Lucas kept going to the courtyard every afternoon, but now he spoke out loud during his visits. His voice got stronger each day. Sister Catherine sometimes watched from far away. She could see Lucas talking and listening and nodding like someone was answering him back. The other children had different feelings about it. Some asked Lucas what the Virgin Mary said, but he never told them. She talks to me private, he would say. Some kids thought he was weird. Some thought he was special. Some thought he was lying for attention. 2 weeks after the fire warning, Lucas ran into Sister Catherine's office after his afternoon visit to the courtyard. His face had that urgent look again. Sister Catherine, you have to call Dr. Chen right now, he said. Dr. Chen was the psychologist who had been working with Lucas. Why, sweetheart, Sister Catherine asked. Do you need to talk to her? No. She needs to go to the doctor. A real doctor. The lady told me. Dr. Chen is sick, but she doesn't know it yet. Something with her heart. If she doesn't go today, something very bad will happen next week. Sister Catherine felt cold wash through her whole body. Lucas, Dr. Chen seemed fine when she was here last week. I know, but the lady showed me. She showed me Dr. Chen falling down. People crying. She said to call her and make her go to the hospital today, not tomorrow. Today. Lucas, I can't just call someone and tell them to go to the hospital, because Sister Catherine stopped. She thought about the electrical wires, how close 8 boys had come to dying in their beds. She picked up the phone and called Dr. Chen's office. The woman who answered said Dr. Chen was with someone and couldn't talk. This is urgent, Sister Catherine said. I need to speak with her now. 2 minutes later, Dr. Chen's voice came through the phone. Sister Catherine, is everything okay? Is it Lucas? Dr. Chen, I know this sounds strange, but I need you to promise me something. I need you to go see your doctor today. Get your heart checked. Silence, then, what? Why? I can't explain over the phone, but please trust me. Lucas said something, and after the fire, I can't ignore it. Please just go get checked. Sister Catherine, I feel fine. I don't have any signs of anything wrong. Please, Sister Catherine said, and her voice broke. Please, just do this. If I'm wrong, I'll say sorry for wasting your time. But if I'm right? Another long silence. You're serious about this? Completely serious. All right, Dr. Chen said slowly. I'll call my doctor and see if they can see me today. But Sister Catherine, we should probably talk about what's going on with Lucas. This kind of thing could mean. Just see your doctor first, Sister Catherine said. Then we'll talk. The rest of the day felt like it lasted forever. Dinner, evening prayers, getting the children ready for bed. Sister Catherine kept checking her phone, but there was no call from Dr. Chen. At 8:30, her phone finally rang. Dr. Chen's number. Sister Catherine, Dr. Chen's voice was shaking. I'm at the hospital. Sister Catherine's stomach dropped. What happened? I called my doctor, like you asked. He saw me at 4 o'clock. I told him about your call, and he did a test on my heart just to be safe. Sister Catherine. The test was wrong. Bad wrong. He sent me straight to the emergency room. They did more tests. I have something called long QT syndrome. It's a problem with my heart rhythm. The heart doctor said I could have had my heart just stop at any time, with no warning. He's keeping me here tonight. They're putting a machine in my chest tomorrow morning that will shock my heart if it stops. Sister Catherine couldn't speak. Her hand shook so hard she almost dropped the phone. How did you know? Dr. Chen asked. How could Lucas have known? I had no signs. Nothing. If you hadn't called, if I hadn't gone today, the doctor said I could have just died next week or next month. It was a warm Saturday morning. 2 weeks later, when Lucas came running into Sister Catherine's office, crying harder than she'd ever seen. Sister Catherine, he sobbed, throwing himself into her arms. The lady showed me something terrible. I don't want to see things like that. She held him tight. What did she show you, sweetheart? A man, Lucas said through his tears. A man who's very sad. He's going to hurt himself today. Jump off the bridge. She showed me where. The big bridge over the water. If someone doesn't stop him, he'll jump and die. Sister Catherine felt ice in her blood. The Coronado Bridge. Lucas nodded. She showed me what he looks like. Brown hair, blue shirt, a picture on his arm. He touched his left arm. She said his name is David. He's going to be there at 2 o'clock. She said we have to stop him. Sister Catherine stared at this 6-year-old boy. Even if this was real, how could they stop a stranger miles away? She picked up her phone and called the police. When someone answered, she said, "My name is Sister Catherine from St. Catherine's Children's Home. I know this sounds strange, but I have reason to believe someone might try to jump from the Coronado Bridge this afternoon around 2 o'clock. His name might be David. He might be wearing a blue shirt." The person on the phone was quiet. "Then, ma'am, what is your source for this information?" Sister Catherine couldn't explain. "I can't say, but this same source stopped a fire and found a serious heart problem in another person. Both were real. Please have someone watch the bridge this afternoon." The woman said she would make a note, but couldn't promise anything. At 1:45, Sister Catherine did something she never did on Saturdays. She got in her car with Lucas and drove toward the Coronado Bridge. She didn't have a plan. She just felt pulled, like invisible hands were steering. "She says we're going the right way," Lucas said, quietly. "She says hurry." Sister Catherine drove faster. When they got near the bridge, she saw one police car, parked with its lights off. A young female officer was inside watching the walkway. Sister Catherine pulled over. The officer got out. "Ma'am, you can't park here." "Are you here because of the call about someone in trouble?" Sister Catherine asked. The officer's face changed. "Are you the nun who called that in?" "Yes. This is Lucas. He had the information." The officer looked at the little boy with doubt on her face. "A child gave you this tip." Before Sister Catherine could answer, Lucas pointed at the bridge walkway. "There. That's him." About 100 yards away, a man stood at the railing. Brown hair, blue shirt. He was leaning over, looking down at the water far below. The officer grabbed her radio fast. "This is Unit 24. I have a possible jumper on the Coronado Bridge walkway, north side about 100 yards east of parking. Need backup and crisis help now?" She looked at Sister Catherine. "Stay here with the boy." But Lucas was already walking toward the man. Lucas knows Sister Catherine called, but he kept going. His small legs moved with purpose. By the time Sister Catherine and the officer caught up, Lucas was standing next to the man at the railing. The man looked down surprised. He was maybe 35 with a beard that hadn't been trimmed and tired red eyes. On his left arm was a tattoo of a compass. "Hey, kid," the man said. "You shouldn't be here. Go back to your parents. You're David," Lucas said. The man's face went white. "How do you know my name?" "The lady told me. She said you're very sad because your wife and baby died, and you think it's your fault, but it's not. She said you think jumping will stop the hurt, but it won't. It'll just move the hurt to everyone who loves you." David stared at this child. His mouth opened. Tears started running down his face. What is this? Who are you?"